Oh, hello. I'm Gordon Douglas Ison, and I'm the progenitor of the on-demand series called Linoleum Blown Apart that you will see get made, no matter how many people giggle behind their hand. All right, I know. That one chick called me the scuffed Sean Baker. I know, I get it, I hear it. What do you think I don't hear? Don't forget, circumcision of the year is coming soon. Oh boy, I hope not to me. David Lynch. Tarantino had the ear cut off, and it's in the Bible, right? You see this, you see it throughout history. We're going to piece it together right here on my show. But what are we talking about today? I'm going to do another character development for Linoleum Blown Apart, and I'm going to do circumcision of the ear. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Now, don't ever forget, my notes from underclass should be from the underclass. Notes from the underclass, they didn't take them down, did they? They didn't take them down. I got a strike on TikTok. But Abba Jekyll Banaka Stewart says, hey fellas and ladies and them days and all yous. I just say yous. Y-O-U-S. Covers everything. Right? Why didn't they take it down? Because I go to Wikipedia. Everything's provable that I say. So when I talk about Cannabis elegans, and I say, talk about, right, riddle me this bat guano, okay? And I know a lot more than that. Obviously, no capital crimes. I don't throw my weight around in Detroit, thinking I'm a tough guy, trying to cover up murders and do stuff like that because you're a tough guy, yeah. That don't make you a tough guy. You ain't tough. You ain't tough. All right, so what are we talking about, guys? Okay, here are the swatches. Look, remember? LA 2040. LA 2042. I like it. 2042. I like it. 242. What do we got? LA 2044. Right? These are the swatches. Which one do you like, honey? All right? Yeah, I remember the swatches, right? Watching all those hours I put into HGTV. You know what my wife told me? 2 words. You're out. That's all she said. And then they tortured me through my own device. That's the worst part. It comes from your phone. It's weaponized. The Google is 10 to the 100th power. Okay? That's how you write out the formula for Hertz. And that's H-U-R-T-S. Trust me, it hurts. It's a frequency. And they could do a lot of things with this frequency. It's very scary stuff. Okay? But we're talking about LA in the future, right? If there is going to be a future. Hey, did you ever wonder, riddle me this bat guano. If they're going to drain the swamp, what are they going to fill it with? If they're going to drain the swamp, what are they going to refill it with? Right? I apologize. I don't mean to bring up, negative motifs in any culture, because there's different cultures, okay? So it could be a negative motif in somebody's culture, right? So I do apologize. You know why you apologize to somebody? You know why you say you're sorry? Because the etymology of the word means I feel your pain. It means I empathize with you. And that's why it worked for Clinton. That's why he said, I feel your pain, right? And I think he did to a certain extent. Boy, I tell you, where do you get that? I can't say nothing. All right. Which swatch do you like, darling? Which swatch do you like? 2040? 2042? Or 2044? Well, they already had Blade Runner, 2049. Right? Yeah, dummy. You moron, they already made it, jerk. You take a long walk off a short pier. Right? No. Because this is changing. Let me tell you something. Linoleum Blown Apart does not change, my friend. It's done. You know why? Because it's just going to come spilling out of me. It's going to take me a year to write it up as a fucking novel. Ugh, sucks. And I got all this adulting to do. You know how many? Oh my God, the other day was my whole day adulting. Can you send in this, please? Can I, send it to, I don't know. I wish I had time to play all the time. As a matter of fact, I'd be playing out with those kids out there, playing with the dogs, with the kids. That's what I was put on the earth to do. Okay, but that didn't work out. So we're doing this instead. Okay? So how do you like the numbers? Oh, the numbers. 1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12. See the man. Remember? 1 Adam 12. 1, 1, 1, 2. Wait a minute. Is that a 5? I don't get it. Where am I? Oh no. It's the numbers. Away from the numbers. That's where I want to be. Ooh. So what numbers are we going to use? This is LA. This is LA all the fucking way. I know I talk about NYPD Blue and Hill Street Blues and all that. That's cool. Chi-Town. I talk about Chi-Town. Chi-Town's cool. Right? I'm from Detroit, man. That's where RoboCop, when we saw RoboCop, that was a game changer. We loved it, man. I love Paul Schrader. I worship at his altar. Paul Schrader. I love Paul Schrader. Game changer. I love him. Love his work. Right? I love a lot of things about Detroit. The music. Okay. All right. What are we going to use? I'm going to tell you at the end. All right? Who gives a shit? See the man, middle-aged, whatever the hero, anti-hero. Right? He's a middle-aged man. That's our guy. Jason Statham. We've seen him before. The guy who was in Black Panther. He went to Stanford. Okay, he went to Stanford. He's not just some homie off the street. There's plenty of those. There's plenty of extras that work their way up, okay? But whoever you want to use for this, like I said, I do George A. Romero. Who showed up for the audition? This guy showed up for it. Come on, you're the lead actor, right? Doesn't matter what your 31 flavors are. You could be trans. It doesn't matter. It's not a show about trans, right? Who are the heroes in my world? Mickey Dolenz and Phil Lynott. I want to be a drummer first. Mickey Dolenz. But I knew, I'm like, is my mom really going to put up with that racket? Right? So like I said, Feckless Freddy is based on this guy, Robert Reban. They were LARPing me so bad. Oh my God, it's so funny. Guys from Detroit, supposed to be tough guys. I didn't even know if my friend died or not. I don't even know if he's dead. To this day, it's at 80%. Everything's at 80% for me. Either you were in on it or you knew about it, right? And there's a little fraction of things that I'm piecing together that maybe they did know, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Either way, it's on site. Everything I said still stands. If you need to know what I'm talking about, go check other episodes. If you don't, fast forward it to where we're at right now. Thank you. Oh, hello. We're just starting. Right? This is our guy. What does he do? It's in the future. So what does he pull up in? A Tesla truck. 2033 Tesla truck. That's what he pulls up in. He pulls up in a Tesla. I don't think this is the right one. Right? He pulls up in a Tesla, guys. And this is the beginning. Now, this is the pilot episode. And I forgot about that. I'm going all the way with this thing. But you got to let people clue in, right? Right? It's the pilot episode. And by the way, I'm not saying there's a there, but when I was writing stories inside the jailhouse, and yes, Eddie Bunker, and I read all that stuff too, not all of it, but, right? And then there was a TV show about Prison Break. The guy tattooed everything on his body, went in there, broke his brother out, right? So again, when sometimes you're in the zeitgeist, you're in the zone. And guess what? I'm saying Coppola's going out on a Razzie. Number one, he's not going out. Okay, I didn't mean it like that. And who cares about the Razzie? But you understand? We could watch that film the way I watched The Shining years later, and then you fucking get it. So there's always that. Okay, so what was I just saying? Tesla. He rolls up in a Tesla from 2033 Tesla. What are we at? What are we at now? It's like 2025. I mean, it could even be LA 2033, right? 33, everybody knows that's cop code. You don't have to, come on, man. Even Philistines know that shit now. Like, give it up, guys. This is the new breed. That's what we were into punk rock. We were the new breed. Make no mistake about that. I was really heavily influenced on that second Blitz record. I love the Blitz, man. They were a great fucking band. So you can fucking take that however the fuck you want. But anyways, I shouldn't cuss. I'd like a lot of people to watch this. So whatever, who cares? Yeah, scuff Sean Baker. I've heard it. Okay, thanks. That's actually a compliment. Thank you. But okay, so here he is. Here's our guy. He pulls up in a Tesla that's beat to shit. Right? We gotta get one of those Teslas and beat the fuck out of it. That's what he rolls in. He has, you see this, he pulls up and he's talking to his daughter and he talks to her on a screen and he reminds her, you know, he doesn't know this, but she's picking a guy that's just like him. And that's why he doesn't like her boyfriend. What do you think? It's too much like him. He's an athlete, right? It could be racial tension too. He's one ethnicity, the guy's like something completely different. Like she's dating a goddamn Hawaiian or something, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like what the fuck? Like she's dating a fucking Samoan, right? Like, right? But the reason she's dating him, why? Because he has these qualities, right? But he rolls up in his Tesla, he's talking to his daughter. But he looks out the window so we could see what's out the window. And he sees DJ Qualls. Remember that kid? DJ Qualls was his name? He's an actor, he's a little wimp, right? And guys like that with the social credit score, like anyone could be a cop. It's not just physical, it's not just these human wall lummoxes, right? Anyone, they gotta have everybody. The first time I saw an LGBT police officer was at the 10th precinct and I got arrested for marijuana. Fucking marijuana, man. And come to find out, one of the kids, I think he's connected to the Lucchese's. Excuse me, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but I think he is. He wrote a book called Ganja Godfather. And that's, right? And so we saw in The Godfather, it's the politicians and the judges that are what? The shot callers. That's why he said that. You got all the politicians and judges in your pocket. You got to share them with us. You know, those are the real shot callers. That you can get things done on the street. You know, the cops, you got an inside guy, right? Whatever, you don't need me to tell you that. So, right? He sees these new dorks coming in. And again, you can have LGBT. You introduce an LGBT character right here. They're a new recruit. It's a female. And she's bringing her girlfriend too. Her credit score went up, right? And so you're introducing her sexuality, just like that. You know, and then you got these guys, they're getting broads that aren't really, they're out of their class. You understand? There's a great video I put up. It's called Nail Biter. Please check out Fallen Angelinos, my other channel, where I'm running around, you know, like, whatever. But I put them to music. Okay? So they're really cool. They're little music videos. I worked on music videos. Blah, blah, bleep, blah, blorp. I think the last one I worked on was Jane's Addiction. I helped set up the intervalometer camera and whatever. Just go to Camera Service Center, New York, all the time. Nobody cares. Okay, keep going. So then we have the captain. Remember? Because you got to see that there's somebody older than him here. And he's the captain. And he's like, the longer I stay, the more money I make. The fact is, you're going to get into his life. Obviously, this is the pilot episode. You're going to see that, you know, what is this guy's life really like? Why doesn't he want to go home? What does he feel guilty about? Is there some kind of guilty thing? Does he feel guilt maybe? A lot of us do. You know, take your laugh break, please. A lot of us do. A lot of us do. And I know when you watch me and I cry, you're like, well, you should get some help. You should get on some medication. Right? You do that if you've done your shadow work. If you've done it, then you allow your feelings to flow out. And you're not ashamed. You don't feel shamed. You don't feel ashamed. You let it flow out. You don't try to hide it. It doesn't mean you're mentally unstable. It means you've done the shadow work. Look at me. Look how quickly I can recover. If you haven't done your shadow work, I'd be buried in a corner right now crying. You know? That's why I was going to go to jail for Lana, the ecstasy dealer. You know, I don't appreciate that bitch running her fucking mouth like I'm some stalker. The fuck out of here. There's 3 more just like you. Don't ever forget it. And there was. Okay? She was seeing other people. I was seeing other people. But I would have went to jail for her if she would have got busted, like I said, with Peter Gatien and all those guys. They all got busted. Okay? So don't think it didn't get back to me. Fucking tell me. Running your fucking mouth. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm a joke. Yeah. Here's the fucking punchline right here. So, right? So don't ever forget, men give. And let's just say masculine energy likes to give. I like to give. Feminine energy, they either like to receive or they want to take. That's the difference. Yeah? I never hear nobody bring that up. All right. So he's talking to his daughter. He rolls up. He's got a beat to shit Tesla. And you know that they're like, you can't beat them to shit, right? They take, but you know we can beat it to shit. I think you can beat up anything, right? That's what he rolls up with, right? Later on, we're not going to find his wife as the DA until later, but they're going to have a conversation and she's going to come up, the wife. She's in high school, college. So he knows that she has a boyfriend. We know you're going to have sex. You guys will never believe it, man. My mom flipped out because this girl I was having sex with had a period. You would think my mom was like this heavenly angel who never had a period in her fucking life. Like she didn't let it go. She just kept bringing it up. Why? Because she wasn't, right? She wasn't personable enough to say, Gordon, I just want to let you know, man, I know this is the girl that you're dating right now, but I don't really think she's right for you. No, she can't say that. She has to fixate on something that the girl did and ostracize it. That's what these guys from Detroit did to me, going around painting cash for smells on buildings, man. And they're in their 40s and 50s years old. And it's on site. I keep telling you, man. I'll keep saying it. Next episode, we're going to do another character from Linoleum Blown Apart. I really want to get that laid out, but I'm showing you in the moment, right? So here we have all this, right? So let's move on. What do we have? Nukes. Nukes Gone Wild. These are the titles. Take a look at the titles on this channel, Grievance Gordy channel. Take a look at the titles of my videos. Just the titles. That's why I say I'm more Mylius than Mylius, because I'm Smilius. I love Mylius. That's why. You have to have different people from different backgrounds contributing. You can't just have one mindset. You got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be the, you can't be the other thing. So, remember I said this is a Gavin Newsom type? No. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. I said that because my gears are churning. It's the opposite. It's a Trump type. Why? Because everybody wants clean energy, wind and solar. I put air. Oh, the air. Wind and solar is the future. Dumb shit. Who comes in?
What you gotta do? We're going back to nukes. I'm tired of this. I'm done.
Right? He brought him back to nukes. He's a Trump type. He comes up and he's like, okay, we're having all these problems with all this wind and all this solar. Maybe there's some rolling blackouts. He's the one who does it. The Trump type.
Listen, we've been using nukes for all these years. We're gonna use them, see?
He gets everybody back on the grid, the nuclear grid. Here. But this is going to be in the dialogue, right? Well, it's the 7th year. Ooh, Sacred 7. Right? It's the 7th year of his reign as governor. And what happens? There's a fucking meltdown. Right? They've been listening to this guy the whole time. The nukes are installed. And he's like going around, hey. He's got the golden shovel, taking pictures and all that bullshit. Sorry, I got to get a little light on my face. Right? He's doing all this, right? He's taking all this credit. Well, there's a fucking leak, dumbass. Fukushima just broke out. Now, the best part about that is, like I said before, with Tarantino, he does B movies with A-list actors. I love that. And it's not putting them down by saying it's a B movie. They're kind of B movie-ish. They are, in a way, but they're very complex and they're very beautiful, etc. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's fucking ass. Right? But I like that. You can't forget that aspect of cinema, right? When I was, Lee Sobel was supposed to do Rockabilly Vampires with me a long time ago. Lee Sobel turned down the money because his girlfriend, Margaret, right? My mother's name's Margaret. It means pearl, and my grandmother's name was Pearl. The guy giving him the money said, I want my girlfriend to be in it. I want my girlfriend, wife, whatever. And he said, no. That's what he told me. So I have to take him for his word. So when I'm working on Peacemaker and some girl tells me Jill Footlick, the same way the guy where I was working in production tells me, he's like, I'm going back to my hometown to be with my band that I left behind. Okay, I'm picking up the clue. I got it, okay? Put it in my fucking face, all right, so what? It doesn't mean I'm doing that. I guess that means he was giving me word that people got butt hurt. Yeah, go F yourself. Too bad. Let me tell you something. It takes 4 people to be in a band, or 3, however many is in it. Those weren't my songs. They were everybody's songs in the band. I couldn't have wrote them without them. I couldn't have wrote them without them. That's the whole joke with the Spinal Tap. They kept going through drummers. It was a whole joke. Oh, they were replaceable. I had to base my set around what my drummer could play. So when Clifton looks at me and says, I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm not doing anything with you. I was like, okay. I got another drummer. And that's who they called on the phone and put up Blown Apart in the parking lot. I had to write my songs around what the drummer could play. I needed somebody like Clifton. And then I could have wrote other songs. I wrote songs based on my drummer. That's what I do. They're based on my drummer. If my drummer can't play it, I have to drop it and go play something else. If he can't bring it to fruition, that's it. That's how a band works. So they weren't my songs, and I wasn't the front man and the singer and all this stuff. I had to in order to usher this forth. But since you guys, that's the way you feel, thank you. Because I'm taking all the songs and they're going with Linoleum Blown Apart. Now you ain't gonna get shit. How do you like that? Now you ain't get nothing. And when I get my money, I'm gonna give it to some fucking broad. I'm not gonna give it to charity. That's bullshit. That's virtue signaling. I'm gonna give it to some fucking broad. You know? I'm just gonna give it to her, let her fucking fly around and do whatever the fuck she wants. How do you like that? Man. And okay. All right. That's why the nukes are leaking, not because of a wishy-washy Gavin Newsom type. Gavin Newsom, he's going to the White House, guys, so I don't know, it's going to be great. I love it. It's going to be great. He talked to Steve Bannon. You know what Bannon means? Call out. He's calling out. It's like a banner, waving the banner. I love Steve Bannon. His kid does a channel. It's called Ping Trip. It's a great channel. I love it. All right, so, all right. I mean, I get excited about politics, too. We all do. All right. Here's the interesting part right here. Beep, 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 beep. Dope. Let's talk about dope. So I told you I wrote a script, and it was about a guy who thought he had lycanthropy, which is werewolfism. He thought he was a lycanthrope, and it turns out he had rabies. Right? But again, it's all in camera. So we see what he sees when he's standing there and he turns his head and like the camera catches him looking like a werewolf, and then there's a quick edit, boop, and you see that it's just him, and he's like, oh, what? He's like, you got to do it like low budge, you know what I mean? That was the point. It was going to be all these camera tricks. And then in the end, you find out that it's something very practical. It's like, yeah, that was all in his mind, right? This is before any kind of like, I guess Teen Wolf was out, but I'm like, right? Because they're reinventing like all these monsters. Like, how do you reinvent a monster? I'm the only one who talks about your 23andMe. Malcolm Gladwell is in my mother's haplo group, so I am related to Malcolm Gladwell. He's on NPR. He's an NPR guy. Okay, well, how come they're not showing the Boston Strangler? How come they're not showing Jeffrey Dahmer or Ed Gein? These girls brought up Ed Gein. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. She knows about Ed Gein. It's like, that's so cute, right? They're young too. Fuck, everybody's young. Oh, shit. Right? How come they don't show that? Hey, they're in your haplogroup. I was the one who created that. That goes with a Jekyll and Hyde property. That's a great property, Jekyll and Hyde. This guy, he served in the war. He comes back, he's a medic, EMT guy here. Yep, just like Bringing Out the Dead, Scorsese. But this guy, at Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll took medicine to prevent himself from turning into Mr. Hyde, and everybody twisted around. Jekyll and Hyde's all about lawyers, too. He took the medicine to prevent himself from derangement that was like creeping in his mind. But everybody twisted like he took the potion and then became that. So again, do what you will, right? And we're just throwing out these ideas. So what are they going to have here? They're going to have some good dope. So I thought of that one too. And I'm like, well, I wish I could remember every single filmmaker's name and all that. You know, I like Nightcrawler, and I like that director, and he did something about the art world after that, where the painting came to life. And I talk about tattoos. Your tattoos are sigils, guys. You need to be a little bit more in tune about what your fucking tattoos are and what their meaning is. You can gain great power. My phone's everywhere. Right? You can get some great power from your tattoos. It's imbued. You have to, man, it's your intention. What is your intention? My intention was never to like harass guys in the Detroit punk scene or the Beat of the Beta. That wasn't my intention. My intention, you know, wasn't to love somebody the wrong way or I'm out for money. It's not my intention. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. So I thought about this too. I'm like, well, there could be a new drug and the people could turn the people into zombies, but they're ultra violent zombies. Like it gives them power, right? It's like you would smoke PCP. It's like, hey, he's all messed up on PCP. He just smashed through the windshield of the car. You know, he just lifted it with one hand. That's the PCP. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, pal. Sure, yeah, we should do tab T, PCP, all that. I was at a party, some guy smoked PCP, I left, and he stabbed his brother with a butcher knife. And I believe he might have murdered him. I don't know if he's murdered or not, but he stabbed his brother 27 times in the face, neck, and chest. That was his story. Sounds like 27 Club, man. 27 times. I don't know why they said that. It just stuck with me. It's a true story. All my stories are fucking true, and I don't need them qualified by some fucking, a bunch of phonies who got to make up fucking fake names and all this shit, you know. But anyway, it's a dope, and I talk about tattoos. So there's a couple things that's already happened to me here, and I'll never tell you who was involved or anything. I'll never. You know, it would have to be like 10, 20 years from now, whatever, if I'm lucky. But I've already been roofied, and I've already been slipped DMT. Okay? So that's where I'm at. So when you want to laugh about cash for smells and all this stuff, I put my life out on the line in the streets. You actually do. My life has been in peril numerous times. When I was in a dope house at 15 years old in Detroit, my life's in peril. There's guns, everything. I had no business being in there. Okay? But it's the only place you can get weed. It's like, where's the weed at? Oh, we don't have any. Try this, kid. Oh, okay, shit. Right? So, there's new dope. Remember I told you, the guy's gonna kill the fucking partner. Why? Why? It's a new dope. So how's he know he's doing the dope? How's he know he's doing the dope? How's he knows he's doing the dope, dummy? Because he's done the dope before. Remember in Serpico, where they all got to smoke weed? Remember? You got to smoke it. You got to smell it so you know what it's like. Right? But you can't do too much. Right? Hill Street Blues, the captain tells him, you can't do too much. Because what happens, like when I did the DMT, it's not a tattoo, it's scarification. and those scars start spelling something out. It looks like a tribal tattoo. You see people in the streets, they got the scars all over, but they'll color them with Indian ink. They'll color them, start coloring them in, because they're the scars from doing the dope. It raises your skin and it creates a tattoo. And sometimes those tattoos say words. You could see words in it. But if you just do it every once in a while, it's not gonna hurt you like that. And that's what he sees. That's what he sees when he looks over and he sees his partner is a fucking rookie, but he's not a rookie. He's a drug addict. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Like when Tom Hardy comes here and he's an actor and he wants to go out to get something to drink. So he goes out and has a drink and he wakes up, he's naked in a bed and there's a cop gun pointed at his face. Right? Oh yeah, he doesn't drink anymore, right? It's the same thing. All right, I just want to say, it's not going to be LA 2040. It's not going to be LA 2042. It's not going to be LA 2044. It is going to be the coordinates for where the red zone is, the green zone. It can't be the green zone. It has to be a red zone for where the nukes melt down. That's what it is. The LA and the numbers are the coordinates. Thank you very much for watching my show. I appreciate it more. You never know.